Fred Coscia, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Staten Island Comedy Show. We're going to have a great show for you tonight, so stay tuned. It's a virtual show. We have comedians to perform their stand-up sets on location, and you will see them right here on the Staten Island Comedy Show. Our first comedian is Matthew Dietz. He is from Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, just outside of Atlantic City. He has been performing stand-up for 2.5 years. What made Matt get into comedy was he always wanted to try stand-up since he was a little kid. His teachers would refer him to as Joke Boy. Each day he would tell them a joke, and each night Matt would ask his mom for a new one. You can follow him on Facebook, Matthew Dietz, Instagram, matthew.dietz.comedy. Our first comedian is Matthew Dietz, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, I'm really excited to be here, guys. I just got back from visiting my parents, and my dad retired this week. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think I'm more excited than he is, because him retiring is one step closer to putting him in the home. As a millennial, that's the only way I can get a house. So. Now, I had anxiety and depression before it was cool. Yeah. I see you. I'm not talking about the trendy version either. You know, the lying on a couch with a gravity blanket, watching reruns of The Office, eating avocado-flavored seaweed squares, calling that depression? No. I told my mom I was depressed in 5th grade. And she said, well, you're not the one with kids. I told my older sister I was depressed in college. And she said, well, you're not drinking enough. I told my girlfriend I was depressed. And she said, well, I'm never going to finish now. My self-esteem fluctuates based on how quickly people respond when I sneeze. And I'm so self-conscious, when I sing karaoke, I sing backup. I tried to get away from my anxiety and depression by going on a solo vacation to Florida, where I got separation anxiety and tropical depression. So something that's been making me really anxious lately is the news. I don't know how closely you guys have been following this, but aliens are real. The Navy's been following them all over the coast and just didn't think that it was worth telling us about. There is a key public figure that came out to share this knowledge with all of us, and it's not Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's Blink-182. That dumbass punk band from the 90s. They're changing America in ways the Beatles only imagined they could. Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 went through all the small things to prove that aliens exist, and damn it, is he feeling this. So, I'm a nice guy. I would say compulsively nice. Most people are nice because they expect things. I'm nice because I prevent things. So, at work, I'm nice to everybody because, you know, when I know when your daughter's birthday is, it's harder to fire me. Or at me. It's really a public service. Like, I spent the last week just holding the door open after every Joker screening. You guys should thank me. It's preventative. I'm helping the community. It's hard because there's this whole nice guy syndrome out there, where guys are only nice to girls because they expect sex. So it's like, I complimented your hair. I can get a blowjob now? And like, that ruins my brand, you know? So I have to really start to be like explicit about why I'm being nice. So I bought a cup of coffee for a girl at work, and I said, you know, hey Lisa, here you go. By the way, I don't want to have sex with you. Well, not that I wouldn't. It's just that's not why I bought you coffee. Well, she appreciated the honesty. At least that's what HR told me. Oh, man. It's, I've always been a romantic. And when I came to New York, I thought, the city of love, there's so many people everywhere that I would just, have my Disney princess moment, fall in love at first sight. And, well, it took like 3 days. Yeah, I was walking down the street, and this girl with these beautiful green eyes stared at me, and started to make a beeline for me, and I was like, this is it. This is my wife. I got this. She came up. She said, hey, do you care about animals? Hell yeah, I care about animals. What else do we have in common? Yeah, so Haley doesn't talk to me anymore, but she does take monthly payments. So it's kind of like I have an ex-wife. Yeah. All right, I've been Matt Dietz. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. That was awesome. Our next segment on the show is Joking Around with Fred Rubino.
Freddie Rubino here. Now there's a toilet paper shortage. Should this be a problem in the United States of America? Number one, you see somebody coming in and buying 10 cases of toilet paper. You tell them no. 1 case is enough. How big is your ass that you need a case? That's number one. Number two, these toilet paper companies, you make the same amount of toilet paper all the time. You have one busy day, the day after Thanksgiving, where everybody's wiping their ass. I understand. Don't you want to make more money? Make more toilet paper. Okay? It's not plutonium, it's toilet paper. Make more. Run the machines all night, all day. What's the problem? How could we have a shortage? Don't you want to make more money? Let me tell you something. You need to wipe your ass. There's no more toilet paper. This is what you do. You get $5. You buy a 50-cent item. You get a receipt this long. You wipe your ass with the receipt. Okay? That's 10 receipts. It's like 3 rolls of toilet paper. By 50 cents at a time, you'll have more ass. You can have an ass wiping party after that. Freddie Rubino here. A shortage on toilet paper? Man, this is America. We got the freedom to wipe our asses anytime we want.
This is a news brief. I'm Kevin Kumquat, and this is Faker News. A midget was mugged on one of the streets on Staten Island. A witness to the crime said, "What kind of person would be so low?" The Chinese landed a probe on the moon. They said they discovered a gel-like substance. When asked what it was, they said it had the consistency of egg foo young. Now, breaking news. There has been a report of giant mosquitoes on Staten Island in the South Beach area. We have a reporter on the scene, Miranda Panda.
Thank you, Kevin. This is Miranda reporting live from South Beach in Staten Island. As you can see, the Verrazano is right behind me. We've been having some strange reportings here today about big mosquitoes attacking people on this beach. We've been here for about an hour now. I haven't seen any mosquitoes. Okay, I think there's one right there now. It's coming right at us. Oh my God, guys! Oh my God, help! What is going on here? Oh my God. Okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. Back to you, Kevin.
Run, Panda, run! And I don't mean for public office. This has been Faker News Brief. I'm Kevin Kumquat. Now back to the Staten Island Comedy Virtual Show. Our next comedian is Joel Brill. He's originally from East Hampton, New York, but lived in Los Angeles for most of his adult life. He has been doing comedy currently for 6 years, though he made a brief dab at it in 1985. Joel got into comedy because he loves to make people laugh. You can find Joel at joelbrill.com, Facebook, joel.brill.9, Twitter and Instagram @JoelBrill. Also reachable telepathically and via smoke signals. Our next comedian of the show, Joel Brill, ladies and gentlemen.
So I flew in from LA, I'm from LA. I flew down to West Palm Beach and visited my 95-year-old mother. Then I drove up here. And I'll tell you how things have changed. When I was younger, I could get from West Palm to here in a little under 3 hours. Yesterday, 5.5 hours. I still drive fast. I just had to keep stopping to pee. My wife's like, you know, isn't there a way we could do this without stopping all the time? I said, depends. So I work with a lot of charities. I perform at their benefits. And there's one charity I'm really fond of, and I want you to know about it, and that's the Tempura House. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tempura House is a shelter for lightly battered women. For those of you who didn't get that joke, let me just tell you this. My son gets that joke and he's an idiot. He inherits that from me. Because no, when I talk to younger people, I feel like an idiot. I don't know what they're saying. Younger people today have changed the meaning of words that I've used my whole life. For example, a hacker, to me, that's somebody with bronchitis. If something goes viral, you should see a doctor. And in my day, if you blew a tranny, you had a car problem. And friends with benefits, to me that's a friend with Social Security and Medicare. Thank God for Medicare. I was having a lot of problems with my heart. Actually, it was just one problem. It kept stopping. So you know the defibrillators, they actually installed a miniature one inside of my chest. Swear to God. And actually, you can come up and feel it after the show. This thing's unbelievable. The technology, this thing has Wi-Fi built into it. If I have some kind of cardiac episode, it sends a message to my cardiologist. It goes to his phone. He can assess the situation and actually send instructions back to the device to speed up my heart, slow it down, or shock me. But it's true. My luck is I'll be having a heart attack, and the message will go to his spam folder, and then it'll reply back to the device, message undeliverable, fatal error. So this one confused me a little. When I got the device, I read up on it. It comes with a lifetime guarantee. So one night I'm watching TV and I hear a little warning beep coming out of my chest, and then all of a sudden, boom! And I got shocked and I'm on the floor flopping around, and I call my cardiologist and he goes, I didn't get a message, hold on. He gets back on the phone, he goes, oh, don't worry about it. What? I stained my pants. What do you mean? He goes, it was nothing. Don't worry about it. I go, what happened? The son of a bitch butt dialed me. So Dr. Butt Dial is telling me I need to change my diet. He said, you need to lower your sodium intake. Yeah, I take his advice with a grain of salt. Seriously, Dr. Butt Dial, have you ever tried to make a margarita with Mrs. Dash? So like I said, I was visiting my mom, 95 years old, going strong, always has a man in her life, and they don't last very long. Because, but it's always a different guy. I'm like, Mom, where do you meet these guys? She goes, there's a website for people my age. It's called carbondating.com. It's all right, my son didn't get that one. I'm in Los Angeles, and things are very different there. A friend of mine asked me to perform at his gay comedy club, and I said, sure. Wait, what do you mean by perform? Ladies and gentlemen, you've been a lot of fun and exciting.
That was awesome, Joel. Our next comedian is Christopher Crawford. He's from San Angelo, Texas. Has been doing comedy a little over 5 years. What made Chris get into comedy? He was new at teaching and he was trying to improve as a public speaker. Chris continued because he loved to see joy in others and being the person that pulls it out of them. He says it is amazing to do that. You can find him on ROKU TV channel, Veterans Comedy, webpage, chriscrawfordcomedy.com, YouTube, Chris Crawford's Comedy, Instagram, chris.m.crawford1. Our next comedian, Chris Crawford, ladies and gentlemen.
My impression of a ninja hiding in the shadows waiting to kill you. Didn't hear a thing, you never saw it coming. Now, on a similar note, here's my impression of a mime that didn't even be a statue. Or is it a ninja waiting to kill you? Either way, I'll never trust another mime, I'll tell you that much. For some of you, that's not the type of impression that you're accustomed to seeing. So I'm going to show you something that might be a little bit more familiar. Let's get back on the normal. It's the very first impression I ever did. And it sounded a lot like this. Now it's possible you don't know who that is, so I'm going to turn away, look back at you suddenly and declare, I'm Batman. And instantaneously, everybody here knows who I am. It's funny that way. Of course, the bad thing about the Batman voice is it sounds an awful lot like Creepy Guy voice. You remember, ladies, the guy who tried to pick you up at the bar? He was all, do you come here often? Are you alone? Can I call you? First of all, guys, you're doing Batman voice at the club. Stop it, you're ruining it for the rest of us. Oh. No, you're not going to stop it, so next time you do it, and she looks at you like you're crazy, and she will, turn away, then look back at her, right to her soul, and declare, I'm Batman. Maybe it'll work. Nah, it's not going to work. Trust me, I've tried. Now, the cool thing about the Batman voice is that anybody can do it. It's simply an aggressive whisper with a little bit of bass. The funny thing about the Batman voice is that even though everybody can do it, no two people sound alike when they do. And it still comes off like Batman voice. Now to prove it, I want you to play along with me again. I'm going to count to 3, and I want you to hit me with an aggressive whisper with a little bit of bass and declare, I'm Batman. Here we go. 1. You're going to do it. You're going to be heroes. You're going to be a hero with me tonight? Yeah, you are. All right. 1, 2, 3. I'm Batman. That guy was ridiculous. No, I'm not afraid to admit that you're better than me because I haven't been doing impressions for very long. But you know, anything I try, I run full steam at. I give it everything I got. And here recently, I decided to set a world record. Now I had to do some research. I opened the Guinness book, flipped through a few pages. The first thing that jumped out at me was, the world's largest miniature airport. I'm not sure if those two phrases can even go together. But what it taught me was that if you suck at something bad enough, they'll give you a record for it. So I decided to be the world's loudest mime. I am in a box. I am pulling a rope. World's loudest mime, y'all.
Thanks, Christopher. That was awesome. Very funny. Our next comedian is Shari Linek. She is from Malden, Massachusetts, originally, now residing in New Jersey, unfortunately. Shari has been doing comedy more or less since coming out of the womb, give or take 10 plus years. You can find her on Facebook, Shari Linek, Instagram, Shari Antics, Twitter, Shari_Antics. Our next comedian is Shari Linek, ladies and gentlemen.
Performing here, but I love the setup. There's drums here, which means there's two of us on this stage right now that get banged, but I'm pretty sure it's the drums more than me. Yeah, I'm still in last night's clothes, but I don't know if it counts as doing the walk of shame if you didn't get laid. I mean, I think it should be more of the walk of shame if you didn't have sex. I mean, your makeup's intact, you look good, your vagina isn't burning. So, yeah, I met this guy last night, and it was really cool. Like, you know, his name was Aldo. And he's like, I mean, when you hear the name Aldo, what do you think of? You don't think of a lawyer, right? You think of shoes or Constantine Maroulis from American Idol. So he said, and he was hot. He was really hot. But he was dumb as a box of rocks, but still, he was hot. So we go back to his place. He's like trying to show off, and he said, by the way, my name is an anagram. It stands for All Ladies Dig Aldo. So yeah, we got pretty hot and heavy, but then things started going south, like except his head. So I left, and I gotta say, there's something a little humiliating about walking the streets of Greenpoint because the G train runs like once a month, and these women are staring at me like, "We know what you did, heathen." I'm like, "No, you don't know what I did. Sorry." So I am actively dating, and I love the names of dating websites. Aren't they great? You got what? Tinder, Bumble, Plenty of Fish, which I'm pretty sure you have to have plenty of criminal records to be on. OkCupid, which I think should be called OkCupid. For gay guys, they have a couple, and I love the names of them because it says what's going to happen during the date. There's Grindr, and then there's Manhunt. I mean, if that doesn't scream restraining order, I don't know what does. So yeah, I've met some interesting people on the dates themselves. I also, I'm on a couple of others. There's 23andMe, which I didn't realize was an ancestry site. I mean, because 23 is as high as I go. There's Farmers Only, which I'd really be a good catch on. I mean, I have all my teeth. I don't have a John Deere tractor. I go to sleep at 5 a.m. and the only crop I grow is weed. And then my other favorite is Inmate Dating. It's a real site. That's how desperate I And they're all the same profiles. They're all like, I just want to meet a nice woman to settle down with for the rest of my life. And then you scroll down more and you see that they're scheduled for execution the day after tomorrow. I really did meet a great guy, though. We are very similar. We have a lot in common. He comes from a great family. We met on Ancestry.com. I like when guys show up looking nothing like their profile. Have you guys ever had that? Okay, so everyone's looked like their profile. Anyway, I like doing this when they show up to the restaurant. They say, Shari. I look at them and I do this. I mean, I'm not stupid. I have to eat. Yep. You should see how fast they run out of there. Lastly, I recently had a baby. I had it in the ladies' room a couple minutes ago, so I apologize. The birth was really quick. Flush. Anyway, that's my time. You guys have been great.
That's the end of the show. I want to thank everyone for watching. Also, if you want to see previous episodes of the Staten Island comedy shows, go to my YouTube channel, Nevin Cummings Comedy, and please subscribe. Also, hit the like button and the bell notification. This way, you'll be notified when I upload a new show on YouTube. Also, please like my Facebook page, Nevin Cummings Comedy. Goodbye. See you on the next show.